number 76, named after Alejandro Gijón, and a Master of Pedagogy. Yes. Today he will present a masterclass on the topic, Keeping Students Engaged, Practical Strategies for Young Teachers. In his session, he will share practical and interactive approaches that help maintain students' attention and active participation, which is especially important in today's fast-changing learning environment. So, the floor is yours.
Thank you for announcing, and good afternoon, dear colleagues, dear teachers, and I'm really honored to be here and to be sharing on this very stage with you. So once again, my name is Alejandro Magyar, and I am representing school number 76, named after greatest person in our country, Alejandro Gijón. And once again, so today, I really appreciate, love, and respect everything that this conference and everything that we stand for here, and what we stand for is the future, bright future of our young generation, in terms of education, presence, right, values, and so on. As teachers, we play an important role in building and educating our students. So today, my topic is keeping students engaged, practical strategies for young teachers. So this may sound a really long topic, but there is nothing to worry and to be afraid of. So before I start, I would like to ask your active, let's say, participants, right? So do not be shy. You are here to learn, and I am here to share, right? So I think there is nothing, scary, nothing to be ashamed of. What you really want to know. Before I start, there is an amazing quote that plays an important role in my life, which is, as many languages you know, you learn, as many people you become. So I would like to ask you, dear colleagues, so how do you understand this quote? Are you familiar with this? Any answers here?
Of course,
yes.
We can, at first, of course, it's my life motto.
Right.
At first, we must respect our mother tongue, and then we can learn another foreign languages. Can maybe Turkish, maybe Russian, maybe English, maybe, of course, and so on. It depends on us. If we have got to do something, if we have got motivation, we can do our work best.
Very good. Thank you for your answer.
Because
amazing. Thank you for your answer. Okay. Any other ideas? Any other answers? Again, do not be shy. Do not be scared. So, okay. As many languages you learn, when we teach our students, do we only teach vocabulary, grammar, only words?
it's about culture.
Very good. So, can you give some more answer?
I'm not sure, but when we are learning another language, we learn the behavior of other culture.
That is very good.
The history of other countries, and it depends on you when you are learning more and more.
Right, amazing. So when we are learning and teaching a new language, we are immersing, right, into the language, and we are learning about, as our colleague said, the culture, the history, everything that the language bears, right? So this is, do you know who wrote this quotation? So he said, "한자 틀리생 손자단스." In language, in Canada, he said, right? So this is I love this quotation. So, question: what makes a great teacher? So, let's say, what comes to your mind when you hear the word great teacher? Any ideas? Okay, colleagues, right? Creative, very good. Way of teaching, right? Responsibility, amazing.
Especially opportunities for learners.
Nice.
We are motivators.
Very good. Motivation is amazing. Any other ideas? Critical thinking, very good. And flexibility, very good. Very good. So also amazing answers. All top answers. Of course, the list can go, I think, like forever, right? Of a description of a great teacher. But in my opinion, adding to all the words they have said to me, I would like to add a person who is able to engage all the students. And that's what I'm going to talk about today, right? So, from my personal experience, I have developed this, like it may sound a little strange, yeah, interesting steps to keep students engaged. As you can see, confidence, get to know your students, strong CTA, make them search, impress your students, and accepting yourself, right? You might think that they have like kind of no connection between them, but like this is what I have come up, yeah, with my ideas. So let's start. Number one, confidence. Do you think confidence is important in teaching? Why?
Because when
Uh-huh.
when we give
Okay.
direction for us, at first we must be, we can say, we mustn't be shy, and
Right.
after it we can give them direction
Nice.
how to behave themselves, and
Mhm.
also it will be, who can say, helpful for them,
Mhm.
and they can communicate with each other during the
Right.
lesson, not
Very good.
only during the lesson,
Mhm.
they can show their what they know, they can use in
Mhm.
their daily life.
Nice.
It will be useful for them.
Nice. Very good. Thank you for your answer. So, any other ideas? No problem. So, yeah, of course, confidence is the key to your presence in the class. So, when you enter your class, you must show your presence to students. Like here, I am here, students, right? I am the boss. This is my territory, right? So, they must feel it. Of course, not in a negative way, right? So, the first thing that you need to keep your students engaged is the confidence. There are many ways that you can build your confidence. I think this is not the time to explain how to gain your confidence, but speak firmly, yeah, giving instructions firmly, do this and do that, bring me and bring that. Use body language, right? Your hands, your body, move around, yes, also really important. And the walk around the class, this is what I do. So to cover all the audience, all my students, so I usually just walk around, go circle around the tables. Of course, again, to let them know that I am present in this class, right? So number one is confidence. Number two, get to know your students. Keep your enemies closer. Wow. Do you think this is the right quotation to use in this seminar? Why? Mhm.
Because the barriers of the students can be our enemies when we're teaching.
Good answer, okay. Any other ideas? So, do you know this line from which film? From The Godfather, right? So what is the full quotation? Can you tell us? So, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, right? So, of course, we're not treating our students as enemies, right? But it means we have to be well aware of what they want, yeah, like here, what they like, what they can do, what they cannot do. So you all have to be informed about it. Not 100%, but maybe 5% or maybe 10%, right? This is the second step of keeping your students engaged. And the next question, how we keep our enemies closer, yes, as we said. And I'm going to demonstrate some activity. And for this, I need a volunteer, or my victims, as I say. So, anyone wants to be a volunteer? Or should I just speak up? So, the method is called the talking corridor, right? The talking corridor is suitable for all levels, right? So, can I have like three colleagues here and then just three colleagues here? Just this will be really, really fun activity. So again, colleagues, do not be shy, do not be scared. I'm not going to eat you. So I just ask for your active participants. Okay, yeah, please, yeah, I have three. And okay, I have 4. So 2 more. Can I have 2 more, please? 2 more? Okay, I think we can do this. So, can I have 2, yeah? 2 people standing here and 2 people standing opposite. So, a little close, right? A little close. So, what you are going to do is to talk to each other between 30 to 60 seconds, right? So I will be asking you the question, right? When I say, when I tell the question, you can start a conversation, right? When I say stop, you say stop. And the third command is switch. So you switch the students clockwise or against the clockwise. So let's say in this situation, when I say switch, you switch places here. So for example, yeah, you go there, like this, okay?
It means with another partner, yes?
That is very good. So the first question is, what do you do in your free time? The time starts now. Just a quick conversation. Also think about it. Okay, time, right? Let's switch. Let's switch. Yes. No. Okay, that is fine, but you can also do clockwise. Yeah, clockwise. Clockwise. That's okay, no problem. No. So, okay, yeah. Yes. Okay, so you can switch it whatever you want. So next question is, do you enjoy teaching? Why not? Let's go. Okay. Nice. Okay. Time. Very good. Very good. Very good. So I want to ask question to other participants. What happened here? What did you notice? What happened here? The students were communicating, and what was the teacher doing? Listening. Very good. So what was I doing? I was walking around and analyzing. I was knowing who is my enemy, right? So I was gaining more information about my enemies, students, right? So, good. This is one of the ways how you can learn, get to know your students, right? It's called the talking corridor. You can make a list of, for example, 8 students here, 8 students here, and what they think is the most advantageous, let's say, part of this activity. What do you think?
And this teacher is
Nice.
It was you will know, and speaking who is not speaking.
Very good.
You can analyze who is active and who is passive.
Very good.
And according to this, we can improve also scaffolding.
Nice.
Maybe I can help for you, and she can help for me.
Okay, very good.
Firework, of course. Yes.
Nice. And the other thing is, everyone is speaking.
Yes.
I'm not giving like individually, everyone speaking at the same time, which is, I think, good, right?
It means you give open interaction, what
Nice.
you do, and they can speak with each other.
Very good.
Communicating process,
Yeah.
and it helps them to improve their speaking skills.
Very good. So now, thank you for your
And before we
participation.
start, you gave a good instruction.
Yes, yeah, of course. Thank you for your participation. So next, this is called the technique called the talking corridor, suitable for all levels. And the next one is called human bingo. Are you aware of the game bingo?
Yes.
Right? What do we do? What do we do with this game? Yeah. So can you pass? Yeah, pass one to another. Yeah, pass. So this is called a human bingo. This is another engaging activity to get to know your enemy. So what you do is you print. You can print, let's say, a dozen of questions or a dozen of, for example, tasks. Yes, that you can do. So, for example, in the table, you can see some certain types of questions and activities, right? So, for example, can you please read any of the table? Just read any of the table. Very good. So this is, you can actually ask, for example, your students to stand up and gather in the center and hand out all this material. So they start asking all these questions in the tables from each other. If the answer is satisfactory, yeah, you can just tick, the student just writes the name of who answered this question, right? Yeah, so you can say, if you complete 5 tables, say bingo, right? So that when the student, when one student, for example, completes 5 tables quickly, he screams, bingo, I finished, right? Again, what you do here, you also go around and observe what they're talking about, right? So this is another activity. Yeah, you can just keep the handouts. So for example, here, wakes up before 6 a.m. every day. I think everyone, yeah? Here, teachers wake up before 6 a.m. or maybe like 6, 10 a.m., right? Has had a conversation with the tourists in their language. I think definitely we had that, right? So, for example, my name is Madia. My colleague asks, do you wake up before 6 a.m.? I say yes. So the answer is satisfactory. My colleague writes my name, right? Or you can say has read more than 5 books this year. So if he says or she says yes, I say, tell me the names of the books, right? So he says from like the names of the books, right? So this is called human being. Next, strong CTA. Do you know what is a CTA? Call to action. How did you know that? Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. So, call to action. But what does call to action mean? What does it mean? So, you are all aware of this. When you are scrolling the social media, you go to, for example, food blogger, yeah, and you say, hey, if you want to know all the recipes from the ingredients, follow my page, right? What is she doing? What is she doing? She is calling me to do something. It's called call to action, CTA.
Maybe he's advertised something.
That's very good, very good. So, do you think teachers perform CTA every day?
Yes.
Of course, every minute, every lesson we do, right? So, always give instructions. So, CTA is about giving instructions. If your students understand what they need to do, what needs to be done, yeah, what has to be done, your work will be much easier. Yes? Repeat instructions if needed, of course. There are some students who say, hey, all right, I can't finish it, for example, right? So you have to repeat it if needed. Reduces confusion, right? If he understands it well, no confusion, increases participation, right? And participation is really, really important. Okay, then this called same player share. Maybe you are all aware of this technique. So now I'm going to explain how it works. You can show either an image or ask a question, and let your students think for 30 seconds. Yeah, play it for 1 minute and share for 30 seconds. So, but I'm going to show you this photo. I want you to think for 10 seconds about this photo. Yeah, you have 10 seconds to think. Just think about this photo. Yeah, like a month ago, this picture was like viral, right? So, okay, your time finished. Now, you tell your students to share, yeah, with the partner, his or her opinion for 1 minute. They start sharing ideas, and then at the end you ask them to share, yeah, for example, and for that you can say you need to use these kind of phrases to describe your opinions. For example, we have discussed that, this is that, and this is this, right? Next, make them search. Yes, search. Do you know these kind of exercises? This is taken from action books. Yeah, ICT, what is ICT? Hey. So, usually, maybe some of the teachers give this exercise as homework.
Yeah.
But I like performing this during the lesson because, yes, students do their research. They search. For example, I let my students use any source of AI, yeah, and any source of internet resources. So, for example, well, let's say Global issues. Yeah, Excel grade number 8. Literacy, unemployment, hunger, crime, global, and war. These are the, global issues around the world, right? Question. What is the proportion of literacy in Kazakhstan? I give you, let's say, 15 seconds. Who can tell me? Who can find the information, about the proportion of literacy in Kazakhstan? Let's see who is fast. So just search for the information, the proportion of literacy in Kazakhstan. You can ask the ChatGPT, Gemini, or internet. The proportion of literacy in Kazakhstan.
Okay, literacy means when we are educated.
Yes, so we can write and read, right?
Because literacy and accuracy, it's like twins.
Good.
And every time we must notice it.
Very good.
And especially teachers, we can give direction awareness in how
Nice.
way. And we can maybe achieve our dream.
Very
and
good.
what we want to show.
Right. Did you find the proportion?
Yes.
What is the proportion?
99.8.
99.8%. Do you think it is high or low? It's very high. That it means that almost 100% of the population in Kazakhstan are literate.
Yes.
They can speak, write, and learn.
Okay, and it means in the future, our learners, of course, our students, they can be, of course,
Well educated. That's okay. Thank you. I like your enthusiasm. You're the best student so far. Okay. Next, for example, action task rate, model intelligences. You can say capacity. For example, I ask my students. So, for example, this is my phone. The capacity is 128 gigabytes. Question: what is the capacity of human brain? What do you think is the capacity of human brain?
It's limitless.
Limitless, but there is kind of measurement. Okay, good answer, by the way. Any ideas? In gigabytes, maybe you can say. Do you think it is 100 gigabytes? More or less? More. 1,000 gigabytes.
No.
no.
2.5 million
2.5 million
gigabytes.
gigabytes. That is. Do you think this is a lot or not a lot? A lot, right? So our brain can, put inside, store 2.5 million gigabytes of information. That is a lot.
Yes, because capacity of human brain, left hemisphere and right hemisphere.
Very good.
We can take information and we must use all parts.
Yeah. So here, what I'm doing now? This is not in the book. I'm asking for their engagement, right? I'm making them be interested and search for certain kind of information, right? Do you think this will be interesting for them to know the capacity of the human brain? I think yes. Okay. Also, another thing, directions. I do it. I love this exercise. So, for example, I ask students to open compass on their mobile phones, right? Right. They open compass. They see the north, the west, east, and the south, right? I say, hey, where is your house from the point you are standing? Yeah, from this school. They say, oh, my house is in the west, in the south, right? They are also engaging and they're participating in the lesson. Think, research, and share. This is another amazing method that I use. So I give the question. I ask my students to find the 5 facts. For example, using AI to find 5 interesting facts about the human brain. They search for it, they write it, and then they share using these phrases. I learned that, I found out that, did you know that? Did you know that human brain feels no pain? Did you know that? Our brain feels no pain.
Because you gave criteria how to do
Yes,
this.
good. So the mistake, right? So some students, they want to show off themselves, right? They want to show off, they like showing off. So, for example, when we suddenly make a mistake, the student says, hey, alright, for example, right? So, this is an amazing method. If you can use it very creatively, it really engages your students. So this basically make a mistake in your sentence, wait for students to find it. If they don't, yeah, give them a hint, right? If they can locate the sentence, it means they learned something because they know it's a mistake, right? Next, for example, yeah, if I will have time, I show everything I can. Can you find the mistake?
Yes.
This is?
If I will write.
Yeah, that is a mistake. Very good. So, and the story map, this is well suitable for reading for pleasure method units. You give them these handouts, ask them to read the text, and then write the characters, write the setting, write the problem, and write the solution. Right? They know what they need to do, and they are engaged in the classroom. Next one. Impress your students, right? So, for example, during my classes, I use my voice assistant, for example, Siri, and say, hey Siri, what's the weather outside? For example, it's not working right now. But it does tell me the weather outside, and the students are like, wow. So you should always give the wow effect to your students. When they see it, they also want to try to do it. Yeah, which leads to engagement, right? Yeah, for example, yeah, with the set timer for 1 minute and the set. And accepting yourself is the final step. So why it's important? Because nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes. Yeah, we all have students who we struggle to work with. You need to accept, yeah, where you are standing, what you are, and who you are. The moment you accept this everything, you will, well, let's say, have a huge development in not only in your career but in yourself, of course, right? Yeah, of course, to have a always backup plan. I think everyone is aware of that. So this is what I have for you today. Unfortunately, we were out of time, but thank you for all, yeah, being very active, especially my colleague. Yeah, you're the best so far. So yes. Yeah. I'm very sorry.
I like the idea of scaffolding, which demonstrates.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And the second speaker is our next speaker, Kusumbayeva Isayevna, English teacher, language teacher at school gymnasium number 2 named after Kafur Pagan. Her presentation is titled Integrating 4 Skills in Middle School EFL Classrooms.
Okay, good afternoon, dear class. I congratulate you with now on holiday of numbers. Now, my topic is integrating the 4 skills in middle school, English foreign as a language classrooms. I am a teacher of Smokenat Isayevna, school number 2, named Gafur Kayrbekov in Astana. Next. The aims of this master class is to demonstrate effective ways of integrating the 4 language skills, listening, writing, reading, and speaking in one lesson. In middle English foreign language classrooms, in order to develop students' communicative competence through practical teaching strategies, and to show how to effectively integrate the 4 skills in one lesson and enhance students' communicative abilities through practical activities. Next. One skill not enough. Okay, I want to ask you some questions about can we really teach speaking without listening? And can students write without reading? Okay, now I want to let's discuss about this. Which skill is the easiest for you and why? Your opinion, please. Which skill is easiest for you and why? Listening, writing, speaking, and reading skills in one lesson. Okay? Please, your idea.
Well, in my case, I think it will be listening because this is the very first skill that we develop. For example, in terms of learning language, how did we learn our mother tongue? For example, when we were 1 year old, we did not know how to write and read. Everything we did was to repeat everything that other people were saying by listening. So we may not be able to understand fully, but we can understand the main concept by just listening, right? So I think, in my opinion, listening is the easiest one.
Okay, thank you. Now, any ideas about this? Which skills is easy for you? Okay.
My name is Aslan. Thank you. As for me, speaking is easy for me. We can say we can share with opinions and we can show how to speak. Of course, when we give direction for learners, it will be for skills, of course, as we know, reading, writing, speaking, and listening. But when we speak, how can I say? When I speak, it's easy for me, and I'm so, especially today, to speak with you and communicate with another colleagues.
Okay, speaking is best.
Okay, so
Okay. Now, next ideas, which is easy for you?
My name is Jean Boutin. I think reading skill is the easiest because even if you don't know the translation of certain words, you can find out the meaning of context.
Okay, thank you very much. And which skill do you focus on most in your lesson? Now, please. Speaking. Yes. Okay. Now, thank
it
you.
depends on age. It depends on age of learners. Maybe it's elementary, maybe 10th grade, 11th grade.
It depends on objective.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Anna. You are right now.
And
Next.
Mhm.
What are the 4 skills? Now it is introduction. The 4 skills in language learning refer to the 4 basic abilities necessary for effective communication in a foreign language. Now they are listening, now speaking, reading, writing. Communicative competence. Now Bell Hines mentioned communicative competence means not only knowing grammar but also knowing how to use language appropriately in real life. Now, mentioned Stefan Krishnan said that students acquire language when they are received in a meaningful context. Okay, next. Now, I want to give some examples, maybe tasks in during lesson, how to use skills in your lessons. Now, I have only a few papers. Now, mystery task. Please, first of all, you should read the text. Whatever accident, you should read this text for 6th or 7th grade students. No, it's not here. Can you copy out this? I have no. Now, have you read about the topic Rulever accident? Now, I can give you some papers. Here you are. in one lesson, you can use these 4 skills. Okay, now next. If you have read text, now the first task is read the text and answer the questions. Yes? Have you found this one? No, it hasn't. Last question. Read the text and where did the accident happen?
It was just only
What was the lower accident? Yes, okay. Was anyone injured from this accident? Yes. Okay. Who has answered? Was anyone injured?
No one.
No. Okay. What mistake did the driver make?
He drives fast, drive so fast.
Okay. Now it is what kind of skill in your lesson do you use? Reading task. Yeah, reading skill. Now from this text you can use listening task. Second part of this. What can you see? Can you see second listening part and fill in the gaps? The driver was going to. How can you say? Right answer. The road was very. The answer, please, from the text. Okay. The car suddenly. Right answer, please. Damage. Okay. Now, next task will be true or false statements. Yes, the driver was careful. True or false? False. Yes. The weather was bad, and the accident could be avoided.
Could be a word.
Yes. True. Okay. Now, it is a listening task in one lesson. Okay. Speaking task. Discuss in your group why do relevant accident happen. Why do relevant accident happen? Please. It is a speaking task. Who can answer?
Because the driver was driving fast.
Yes, okay. Who is responsible?
The driver.
Yes, okay, you are right. Who this accident will prevent it?
Yes.
Yes. And this skill is speaking and the writing skills. Write 5 safety rules. For example, always wear a seatbelt. For example, your opinion. 5 safety rules. Can you say? From this text. Yes. Next. Rules. Safety rules. From this text.
You must know how to drive.
Yes, okay. Now, next, second type, write a short accident report, 5-6 sentences. For example, what happened, why it happened, and what people should do. Like this table, you can use in one lesson while reading. Yes. Okay, next reading task, wheel diagram. Now, wheel diagram. You should use this paper. Now, this text we can use, and after reading, identify 3-4 scenes and write inside the wheel. Please, you can speak, you can write, you can can give it during lessons, this task. Okay, who is ready? Now the first character chart. We have 3 characters, yes, Tom and Y and the police, yeah? Now, main traits, who can say main traits?
Main what?
Traits. For example, with Tom, main traits with Tom. Please, Traits, he was careless, yes, for example. What can you say?
It was lucky.
Yes, emotional. What can you say? What else? Now, next task is key actions. Key actions.
Driving test.
Tom, about Tom.
Driving test driver.
Yes, drove too fast. Yes, and
Accident.
yes, he was refused hospital. That. And symbolic meaning. What does it mean?
Don't drive fast.
Decisions. Now I want to say about this character chart. You can use this in while reading task for 6 or 7 grades. Yes. And the next task, writing task. This task is table activity, vocabulary focus. Vocabulary focus. Now, in this table, with definitions and examples, for example, the theme and the character, you can use setting, story, event, and problem. Students can write these definitions, students' own words, and example from a story. For example, the main idea or message of the story here, and the danger of driving too fast. It is an example of the story. Now, you can use this table activity in your lessons, okay? And the listening task. Identify 3-4 main causes or problems and write them in the wheel. Okay, in this table, you can use speeding, dangerous road, car damage, and emotional state. Each student can answer these questions from this text. And next speaking task, it is a safety advice presentation. Speaking, give a short advice, 3-4 sentences for each student. You can use it in your group work or in a pair work. Now, and students can write a road safety, can speak a road safety expert. For example, what drivers should do and how to avoid accidents. Now, next, okay. Which? Now. Okay. Which skills were integrated? I want to ask you about this question. Please, your opinion. Be active, please. Which skills were integrated in this tasks? All of these skills, yes. How did one skill support another? What is how do you think? How did one skill support another?
By linking the exercises here.
Okay. Now, any ideas? Okay. Now, next, I want to finish my topic as the integration is not teaching for skills separately. It is creating one meaningful communicative experience. Thank you.
Thank you, class. And now I would like to invite our next speaker from the city of Petropavl. Aliya Nikolina Yevsas and Musina Dinara, speakers from high school with our Education Mobile, school number 20. City of Petropavl. And both are Masters of Pedagogical Science. The presentation is titled Enhancing Students' Motivation through Peer and Self-Assessment.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Good afternoon, dear students. We're so glad to see you in this Republican conference. So let us introduce ourselves. My name is Vigalina Kayagitova.
And I'm Musina Dinarova.
So we are English teachers from Petropavl. So the first question for you, have you ever wondered why some students remain passive in your lessons? While we are trying to engage them, we're trying to do our best.
Because they are not confident in their skills.
Maybe they are not confident, yes, you are right. Or
I think that peers is strict teachers.
So maybe they have low motivation. So you know, what is the motivation? So how do you think? Is it important in learning process?
Very important.
Very important, yes, you are right.
Okay, and today we are going to speak about the student motivation and the types of assessment. Firstly, I want to say that student motivation is a key factor, influences on learning effectiveness. Motivated students participate actively. They take responsibility for their learning and achieve better results. Yet many students remain themselves passive. They rely only mainly on teachers' feedback and rarely reflecting on their progress. Modern education emphasizes strategies that engage students actively, such as using peer assessment and self-assessment. And we want to ask the question, why the assessment is important in the learning process. Can you answer?
Assessment shows progress.
Yes, it shows progress, first of all, yes. So
Yeah, and
is
also-
is it important in Kazakhstani education system?
Yeah, of course, everywhere.
Everywhere, yes.
No matter what you do, there must be a reflection to yourself. And I think when the student receives a reflection, he or she knows what they need to work with, what they have strength in, and what they have their weaknesses in.
Yes, you're right. How to
Students, learners must know that education is powerful, and of course, in the future, they can provide their future. Maybe one of them, they can choose profession, maybe judge, maybe doctor, maybe another professions. Before it, they must be educated, and they must know balance, how to use it. And of course, it depends, in point of my view, it depends on teachers, how they can start beginning of the lesson and how they can give direction for learners.
Yes, you're right. So let's consider importance of assessment. So traditionally, assessment measured knowledge and assigned grades, and modern approaches focus on formative assessment, which supports learning, encourages reflections, as you said, helps students understand their strengths, areas of improvement, and how to achieve their goals. In Kazakhstan, there is a growing emphasis on independence, critical thinking, and responsibility. All of them are goals supported by peer and self-assessment techniques. So we are turning to types of assessment.
Yes, and we know that there are formative assessment and summative assessment. Yes, and also we are going to speak about peer assessment and self-assessment. What are the advantages of peer assessment and self-assessment? How do you think?
Peer assessment, it means where learners work together, and it will improve their learning set. It will be helpful for them when doing the scaffolding, scaffolding it means when, for example, I don't know language, maybe another learner who knows English very well, and they can combine their what they know, their information, and they can work together. Self-assessment, we can show what we know. Of course, maybe it will be, how can I say, pre-assessment and the self-assessment is too important in teaching process.
So which assessment type you use most in your
I
classes?
think it's self-assessment at first, and when learners want to show, they can improve their self-confidence.
Okay, we can see the advantages, yes, of peer assessment when the more motivated student helps to the low motivated student, yes. But also we shouldn't forget about the drawbacks, yes. For example, the low motivated student cannot help the high motivated student. This student at the lesson also, yes? So we should observe the process of assessment, yes? We should use, for example, scaffolding or give the clear criteria. Okay, peer assessment allows students to evaluate classmates' work using clear criteria, as I said before. It encourages collaboration, communication, constructive feedback. Students also gain a deeper understanding of learning objectives and assessment standards while developing critical thinking, responsibility, and teamwork. Also, self-assessment helps students analyze their own work, reflect on their progress, and identify the strengths and weaknesses using reflection questions, checklists, or rubrics. It increases responsibility of learning and the student aware about his progress. And then we are going to speak about challenges in assessment.
So which challenges teacher usually face?
It's difficult to time management. How can I say? Yes, time consuming also.
So what type of assessment you usually use? Paper-based assessment, or you use some tools in your assessment?
Mostly paper.
You use paper, so you find it's more effective, or
Okay. Well, I think from this point of view, I find paper-based reflection assessment more effective than doing it maybe online. Yeah, just because it's for me it's convenient to work with that. Yeah, but sometimes collecting and making them, printing them out, leaving them out, they take some time, right? Whereas the online, for example, assessment, they can just look at it and just do it, right?
So yes, challenges while assessment. So implementing peer self-assessment can be challenging, especially in the large classes. Teachers may lack time, as you said, to provide feedback for each student, and organize activities can be time consuming. So we offer to use some digital tools and AI to support achievement, making it more interactive and efficient. So let's talk on some digital tools. So actually, we offer three digital tools, mostly known for all of you. So they are Kahoot, Joyteka, and EducaPlay. So these AI tools can transform assessment into a more engaging and more motivating process, that we think. So these platforms give opportunity and offer a variety of interactive tasks, including live, for example, live-made tests, for example. Kahoot allows teachers to create real-time quizzes with instant feedback and competitive elements. For example, EducaPlay provides different tasks with text and does some tasks such as matching, crossword, and so on. So these tools actually make assessment more interactive with him and motivating, while also saving teachers time.
Okay, today we know that AI, artificial intelligence, plays crucial role in our educational process, learning process, yes? And we, in our lesson, should use and implement AI tools, yes? As in our practice, we decided to conduct the experiment, and our purpose was to increase the student motivation and also to organize the process of assessment more easily and more effective. So, and according to this experiment, we wrote some methodological recommendation for teachers, and we want to share with our experiment. Firstly, we studied these free digital platforms. We explore the features, the main content, what can we do using these platforms, and also we explore the advantages and disadvantages of these free platforms. And before conducting the experiment, we gave the student the motivation questionnaire, where they answer the questions about our traditional, about our daily lessons. And firstly, the first 2 months, we conducted our formative assessment traditionally on the paper-based format. And also we observe our student, each lesson we observe our student, and we collected the data on the average score of our student, of the knowledge of our student, and also we monitor the speed of doing the tasks. After that, we conducted the experiment the next 2 months, and we used the platform Kahoot, Educa Play, and Joyteka in our lessons, not to just awake our students, but organize the formative assessment. During these lessons, we use our self-made tasks, our interactive tasks, and also we paid attention to the key aspect as level of participation of our student, speed of doing the task of completion of the task, and also we paid attention to the survey. And as the result, you can see that before the integration, our student had the average score of the knowledge as 65%. And after implementing these free digital platforms, we can see that the percent is increases. And also you can see in this diagram, in this slide, the questions of the survey, and we see that the motivation and the speed of the doing task also increased.
So thus, we came up to the conclusion that assessment is actually the most powerful strategy that helps students become more responsible and more independent. When these approaches are combined with AI support tools, assessment becomes more engaging, interactive, and effective. Such practices not only improve students' academic performance, but also increase their motivation and participation in the learning process. So therefore, integrating innovative assessment methods and digital tools can significantly enhance the quality of education in modern classrooms. Next word.
Muscle reform, integrating SEL and other
zaman in the EFL classroom.
So, good afternoon, everyone, and I hope you are doing very well today. Before we're going to start, I would like to ask you a simple question. Have you ever asked a student a very easy question, and as a student just stay silent, completely silent?
Yes.
Even worse, ignore it. Yes. Yes?
Yes.
Why do you think so?
Maybe they don't know the answer.
Maybe yes, the student doesn't know.
Maybe
But
they
they
don't
don't
care
care
about
about
it.
Yeah,
They are less motivated.
yes. We often think that the student doesn't know the answer, and maybe the students, they feel anxious today, or maybe they think that their classmates will laugh, yes? And today, we would like to talk about an important idea in the education system. Students cannot think well if they do not feel safe first. For example, this idea is often summarized in one simple phrase: Maslow before Bloom. And I'm sure you have heard this phrase before.
Yeah.
Yes? Who is Maslow? Who is Bloom? Yeah, Bloom taxonomy.
Maslow, the pyramid.
Yeah, Maslow pyramid. Very good. And it's mindset to remind us as a teachers that every learner is first of all, a human being first, yes? And as a unique individual, they enter to the classroom and they are appreciated, supported for what they bring to the classroom walls. And as you said before, the theory comes from American psychologist Abraham Maslow. That's the first theory. He created a famous hierarchy of needs, which explains what people need in order to grow and what people need in order to success. For example, safety, belonging, respect, and emotional comfort. Yes, and for the students, they are psychological safety, belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. And the next one is Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy is a powerful framework that helps educators design effective learning experience and assess students' cognitive abilities. And Bloom developed taxonomy levels, yes, with 6 levels of remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. And the most modern teaching encourages us to pay attention to analyze, evaluate, and create. But imagine if a student is ignored, is afraid, is invisible in the classroom, does he or she can reach the higher level of Bloom's taxonomy? Probably not. So, and what should we do? Motivate. How do you motivate students? Why not? Okay.
I always say good words about them, that they're capable to do everything if they want, try to motivate them about their future, how can it help them in the future.
Confidence. We need confidence.
Yes, confidence.
Very good. What else?
Having a conversation with the student.
What kind of conversation?
So asking hows, what's, and why's.
Yes.
Uh,
A small discussion about even about
Yeah.
Oscar nominations.
right,
Yes.
of course.
Yes. And that. Okay. So I would like to invite you to think about our students today. So what's the invisible backpack? What is the invisible backpack? Backpack. Instagram. Every student enters to the classroom with something we cannot see. Yes, it's 100% is true. And in the invisible backpack, there are really many things. For example,
Negative emotions.
yeah, maybe he has got
some problems at home,
Yeah, family problems.
Low self-esteem.
yes, low self-esteem.
Lack of motivation.
Lack of motivation, lack
Huge.
of money.
Yes.
Maybe he or she faces bullying at school.
Yes.
Hungry, yes. Yes, there, as you said before, there was many things, for example, stress, social pressure, family problems, lack of sleep, and the low self-confidence and the fear of speaking English. So, I would like to suggest you start your lesson, not immediately with the content, just saying, for example, you're welcome, or a short discussion, or a short energizer activity. It takes only 1 minute, but it tells the students you are welcome here. Yes? And the next strategy is safe speaking environment. Many students, they are afraid of making mistakes in front of the whole class, and teachers can change this culture by saying that mistakes are okay, or thank you for trying, good effort, and etc. And the next one is small success moments. As Maria just mentioned before, think individually, think share, and then express it to the whole class. And the small successes creates motivation, and motivation creates
Money.
yeah. Why not? Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Now, reflection question. What is one small thing you can do tomorrow to help students to feel safer in your classroom? How?
To be positive,
Positive. Yes. Very good.
Try to see what's inside his or her invisible bag and help to, let's say, make it visible and let's say, take that from the bag, right? Just maybe motivate them more, having more conversation with them. Yeah, and engage them more, of course.
Okay, thank you. What else?
Speak with honesty, warm atmosphere maybe.
Very good. Yes, warm in a warm vibe. Yes.
Explain to them that everybody makes mistakes and that's okay.
Yes. It's truly important, yes, to understand the key concepts of Bloom's methodology.
A student afraid of their peers.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
typical situation. You make clear instead of the peers, like work with them individually, work with speaking with them, like give them maybe like you could be their friends.
Yeah, many students prefer working in autonomy. Yes,
Or one-on-one with the teacher.
yes, very good. Thank you. And final message for safety, then thinking. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Next participant. Any question? Active learning methods.
Okay, good afternoon, dear colleagues. My name is Serena Kadim. I'm teacher of English, of course, like you. And it's a great honor to be here and participate in our conference. Today I want to share with you active learning in our lessons. Do you know about this fact that a teacher should be not just a teacher? We should combine with other professions, yes? Like, for example, a doctor, yes, a psychologist, sometimes police, for architecture or builder. I know, I see your face, you are tired, you want to go to the canteen, maybe don't listen to me or eating. I will be so hurry, faster, and speech like Chevigeri. Now, practical guide for teaching and methodologies. Architecture is not an active lesson. I give you 5 methods in our lesson. 5 program strategies for student and engagement, increasing performance. The first, of course, is theory, difference between passive and active learning. If you have a passive learning, the first is role of students. The first is receive information. If you have active learning, you direct their own learnings. Role of teacher in the passive view dictates material. The second is guides and facilities. Yes. Sensitive process is passive rote memorizations. Yes. And active, deep understanding and analyzing. Skills developed, minimal listening only. Yes, you should listen. Pupil, listen you. Yeah. And active learning is a critical thinking and collaborations. Active learning does not just complete facts, it gives students an active role in their own educational process. And active learning ecosystem. The first is a 3-stage, of course. The first is critical thinking, ability to analyze and challenge ideas, rather than just accepting them on face. The second step is collaborations. Building strong connection with the classmates and the instructor through collaborative work. The third is deep understanding, yeah? Moving from short-term memorizations to long-term mastery of concepts. Clear teacher guidance is, of course, active learning can happen anywhere, but it always requires careful planning and support from the instructor. Будет сложно, но нужно, да? Next. Of course, the first is number 1, strategic pause. A deliberate stop during a lesson that gives students time to process and reflect on information. For example, yes, the first, after a new concept, you can ask our students, yes, how does this concept relate to what student last week? For example, in our conference, pause for you. Why you participate in our conference, to be honest, please? Why? Вот у нас, смотрите, первая стратегия, да? Вы резко делаете паузу на уроке, да, и задаете неожиданный вопрос. Yes? For example, I ask you, why you participate in our conference? To be honest, please. Why?
For example, we came to this conference to see the other teachers, the other teachers' experience.
Okay, good job. Okay, good ideas.
Maybe to meet with another colleagues and to informations. Some of us were pushed to computer.
Please, yes. The main is take a certificate, yeah? Next. Number 2, for example, after reading, yes, the text, what can happen in this chapter? Rule of the tense. Of course, it's a pause, it's a short freedom activity. Use it to return responsibility for their learning to the students. Да? Повторение прошлого материала, for example, yeah? The class number 2, it's a 2 like this, yes? Questions architecture. Their right questions make the thinking process visible and create a dynamic atmosphere. For example, first questions, yes? Open-ended questions. Expand thinking horizons. Encourage unique perspectives and engage in discussions. For example, questions for you, yeah? Do you like our, for example, conference, yeah? Do you like? Yes or no? It's open questions. Yes, yes, I like. It's simple questions. For example, number 2, relevant explorative questions, deepen argumentations. Couple students justify their ideas and dig deeper than to answer. For example, the first questions will be easy, yes? For example, do you like our profession? Of course, you say yes, maybe some people. And second questions, what kind of bad side you see in our profession? What kind of?
Being forced to do some things.
Yes.
We don't
Without asking us.
Yes.
the second
Devotion to this profession.
For my colleagues, problem with the relationship with parents.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Next. Number 3 is reflective questions. Synthesize knowledge. How connect new material with a personal experience in previous lessons. For example, I can give you questions. If you return to the past and go to the university, you can see yourself and ask yourself, did you choose this profession in the future? No. Why no?
Yes.
Yes? Oh, good. Some people, do you choose?
Yes, of course.
Of course? Okay, good. No? Okay. Good. Okay. Number 3 is discussion space. The physical environment, distance, and the interaction form. Yes? Look at each other and you use a semicircle. Yes? Semicircle table like this. You can see each other. Да? Сейчас вы сидим в semicircle. Да? И мы можем видеть друг друга. Да? И you can see emotions. Yes? You can speak each other. Yeah? Basic rules, it's a traditional rules like this, yes? Focus on all attention exclusively on the instructor or teacher, yeah? They only listen, not participate. U-shape sitting like this, yes? A circle or semicircle allows students to see each other. Interactive vectors. Eye contact between students is a basis for productive and respectful debate. Yeah? Speak to each other. 7-step discussion. First, topic selection. Introduce relevant topic alone and different opinions. The second, setting rules. Clear boundaries, respectful listening, and constructive criticism. Number 3 is a space preparation like this, yes? Number 4, warm up, short poll or video to trigger the thinking process. 5, presentation, open-ending questions to start engaging white students. 6 is visualization, using diagrams and charts to clarify complex ideas. And last, number 7, is reflection. Final summary, what have you learned? Yeah? How have you used change? Yes? This reflection for your students. And at last, our colleagues say, yes, think, pair, share. It's like a Malaysian method, yes? Malaysian method. I advise you using these methods because it's good to improve speaking skills in our lessons. The first one you should do. Stage number 1 is think. Individual work, yeah? Students receive appropriate questions and time for independent reflection. Number 2, stage number 2, it's a pair work in pairs, yeah? Students pair up to share ideas, perspective, and create psychological safety for white students. And last time, stage number 3, share with others, yes? Please broadcast their best conclusions to the entire our audience. The instruction provides for general discussions. We have a situation, for example, for you. We have a student or some boy, and he said, I don't like English lessons. I don't want to learn English. For example, I go to the school and I will be a shepherd. because my father or grandpa had domestic animals, and I want to be a shepherd. Don't need English lessons. What you should do, like English teacher, okay? You can discuss. First, you should think. Second, work with pair. And third, you should choose one person who go to the desk, for example, and speak. Is it clear for you? I give you 1 minute or 2 minutes, okay? Is it clear for you? Okay, next, you. For example, you have a situation. You have a good, perfect student. He have a good skills, he have a good pronunciation, and but he is lazy. He is lazy, not actively in your lesson. Is it clear for you? Okay, discuss. First think, discuss with the parent, and go to the lesson. What you should do like a teacher in this situation. He is perfect, yes. The first, yes, you may.
I will have time to answer. You can make the student your assistant in the lesson. He or she can help you to assess other students, for example, for speaking practice. Sometimes during the summer semester for the job, we don't have enough time to share speaking of each student. You can ask this student like, okay, can you help me? You can listen to students, I listen to students, and assessment will take and the students listen and like participate during this lesson, for example. And it can be every time. Right?
Okay.
And then you can like
Yes, yes, I understand your opinion. It's like a leader. Like
yes, a leader of the lesson.
Yeah, good.
Can you repeat our situation?
You have,
No,
you have a student, for example, it's a boy, yeah? And he say for you, I don't like your lesson, I don't, for example, I don't like your lesson, I don't need your English language because I go to the school and I will be shepherd because my grandpa, for example, have domestic animals. And I will be shepherd, like this.
Good option because shepherds are rich today.
Okay, okay. Maybe you have ideas, another ideas?
Yes.
Yeah.
To use a new technology in this sphere of their work, right? He needs to improve his knowledge of how to shoot, yes, how to work with these animals. And life is new and everything is new. He needs to learn English to use these tools. So we can motivate like this. If you want to be innovative and work and help your family, you should learn English first. How to use it.
Okay.
Maybe,
Yes.
maybe I can give those the students is maybe ask them have their choose and I respect your choose and your family. But English is even in deep in the village or in the farm animals, you can learn English and create your own business.
Okay, yeah. Good ideas.
And in this case, you introduce in English words and you can open your business wide the world, for example, import, export. So it is
Yes.
important. Don't just speak in Kazakh, in village. English is open doors. Yeah, I say it this way.
Good. International, yes, like this.
Also, I think this student can create his own blog about his daily life. It's very popular in TikTok, YouTube.
other people want to see how live people in different countries with different profession, and I think he can be popular because of his life. Online.
Great ideas. Okay, thank you, Elise. Okay, at last, I promise. Number 5 is the third methods. A tool for like group work or translation on a whiteboard. It's like this one. For example, color coding system. Black, red, and green. You have a black pencils and main text, basic ideas and definitions. Red, you're highlighting key facts, dates, and main points. Yeah? Green is correction, annotations, and synthesize and new ideas during discussion. It's useful, for example, high grades. Yeah? 10th, 11th grade, for example, action, clue, teaching, and aspects. Yes. 10-11 класс у нас книги, да? For example, aspect and action. Yeah. We have many texts. Yeah. In here. And you should use these methods. It's very good because we have a lot of text and don't have for example, word book for here, yeah? And why it works? Because it's a such visual separation helps students navigate the material better and makes brainstorming sessions more dynamic. Okay. And how to create lesson plan with these methods. For example, warm-up is a question architecture, open-ended questions to active attention to the new topic. 10 to 2 minutes, it's a strategic pose, yes? Stop after complex blocks to the check for understanding. The third, 20-30 minutes, yes? Think, pair, and share. For example, after reading the text, yeah? Transition from individual reflection to pair work. And 30-40 minutes, it's a discussion space, analysis of case study or controversial statement. And at last, in 40-45 minutes, you have 10 methods, visual recording and visual recording of outcomes and reflection on the board. Да? Смотрите, на один урок можно применить все эти методы. Они очень полезны, да, useful. Первым вы можете сразу задать до урока, да, задать вопросы. Это можно развить критическое мышление, да. Как вы думаете, о чем вы можете показать картинку, да, или там открыли текст и увидели картинку, да, и сказать, как вы думаете, о чем мы будем разговаривать, да, или говорить об этом, и здесь exchange ideas, да, у нас обмен идеями. И второе, это вы можете уже у нас strategic pose задать наводящие вопросы. Если у нас, например, 10-11 класс кто-то преподает, там у нас текст Леонардо да Винчи, или как мы изобрели ткани, как пришел шелк, да, как вы думаете, знали вы информацию до этого, да? И think, pair, share, когда мы уже прочитали текст, мы можем использовать этот метод, да? Где вы могли бы вот восстановить шелковый путь, да? Полезен ли он для Казахстана? Вот. Здесь уже можно использовать также the questions, да, deep our knowledge, да. Слабому ученику вы можете задать легкий вопрос, понял ли он текст. Второе, это среднему ученику вы можете уровень сложнее, да, вопрос задать. И третьего уже на критическое мышление, не по тексту задать, да, вопрос. Четвертое, это у нас вот уже у нас обсуждение и развитие говорения на уроке. И последнее, конечно, чтобы мы запомнили этот текст, у нас, конечно, мы не забываем, что у нас есть ссора в Сочи, используем, знаем, что этот текст будет в ссоре, можем использовать этот метод, да, последний, где мы можем выделить главные части, да, то, что нужно знать ребенку, да. And of course, you don't have to completely break your teaching style, say Katon algorithm, yeah. First, choose one to выбирайте, конечно, все методы. Начните с одного, который вам больше всего понравился. For example, choose one tool and start small. For example, just add process, yes? Step number 2, you should apply regularly. For example, make a predictable routine for students. Number 3 step is analyze and evaluate how student engagement has changed. Step number 4, adjust, make small changes and repeat the cycle. Successful implementation requires time. The main thing is meaningful and constituents of actions. At last, my conclusion, engagement while responsible requires higher results, yes? Investing in active learning planning always pays away, yeah? From staying class and the classroom to build through the academic performance. And at last questions for you, which of these 5 steps will you build in the architecture in your next lesson? What kind of 5? Какие 5, которые я сегодня вам рассказала, да, понравились больше всего, и вы, может быть, используете их на уроке. For example, встреча пауза, резкая пауза на уроке, да, и вы задаете какой-то вопрос по тексту или связано с уроком. Второе – это вопросы, развитие критического мышления, да, у ребенка. Третье – обязательно и образная такая форма посадки детей, да, или circle можно, да, круговое, когда ребенок обязательно видит. Вот откуда у нас приходит, да, это у нас малазийская методика, да, обязательно использование. И, конечно, вот то же самое, да, подумать, работа в паре и, конечно, поделиться. И последнее, это самая рабочая схема, можно сказать, да, это три цвета. What kind of strategy you can use in your lesson?
I think fair share is something you do for me.
Okay, good. I'm so glad to hear for this.
Maybe so,
Okay.
Almost all.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Oh, thank you very much. I would like to invite our speakers in front of the audience, please. Madhyar Stas, Sakadar Stas, Vichar Stas, Madhyar Stas. Yes. Please. Thank you for your time, thank you for your efforts, thank you for your insights. Yes, thank you everyone. Let's give them a huge applause. Any feedbacks, any comments from today's session? Thank you so much. That was really useful for us. We use more techniques and methods that we can use in our lessons. Thank you so much.
Yes, today I take a lot of information and I want to say to you, thank you very much and good luck in the future.
Thank you for your active participation.
Yes.
Coffee break time.
Yeah, it's time for coffee.
Okay.
Let's go continue.